Alright guys, artist Kevin Sexton here, and today I'm going to be kind of starting a new series here. It's a bit of a weird one, alright? It's actually this all started about back in around 2013, maybe even 2012. I opened up my shop downtown. It was back 2011 is the year that I moved in. I opened up that spring. Sorry, I got a little bit of getting over cold. It's winter season. It's crazy. But anyway, 10,000 square foot building, massive undertaking. I was not prepared for it in the least. But luckily, amazing thing, I had a handful of friends, and they started pitching in, and they had friends, and they came over and pitched in, and just ended up creating this small little community of probably of about a dozen of us. And it just, these guys can't, I couldn't have opened up the doors without these guys. It's amazing when you're following your heart, you're following your dream, and you're out here and you're doing something, and just the right people just show up at the right time. It is an amazing blessing and stuff like that. And I will just never forget back in that time and that process and everything. So anyway, during getting, some of these were already my friends for a few years, but getting to know these other guys. And so, I mean, these are much younger guys. I'm in my late 30s at this moment, you know. So I got all these young kids, early 20s, you know, they're wild. You know, they're in that age where they're just, you know, love to party it up and have fun. So I was kind of like their older mentor, guiding them. And I couldn't tell you how many times I sat down in the corner and, you know, talk to them. You know, they've had these problems with their family or their girlfriends or whatever, you know, troubles at work. You know, I would just, any way that I can help them out, I always make sure I made the time for them and everything. And just, we all just grew closer, and some of them today are still my closest best friends. So anyway, during this several years of this process, so fast forward, I think around 2014, 3 years after the fact, we were making movies and doing big art projects, you know, big 18-foot tall paintings and 20-foot tall totem poles, all sorts of crazy crap. God, it's just so much fun. So anyway, I would always have these little phrases of wisdom. Because, you know, if you're truly living life and doing things and getting these experience and learning, you know, you better capture these little things, because they're just things that happen in the universe that are just, they're solid, and they've been solid for millennia. You know, it's just, I just think these phrases and things that I've learned are just very important in life. And I don't claim all these to be mine, but they're just, I see the repetition. And one of the first ones I did, I'm going to do another, this is just the intro video, what I'm talking about. Well, anyway, I started saying these phrases, and this guy, Matthew Broderick, he said, "Oh, another Kevinism." And I was like, "What?" I thought he's just making fun. He said, "No, yeah, we all call it Kevin's Kevinisms." I said, I thought they just ribbing me really bad, but no, these guys, he doesn't know. Man, we listen to you, and you know, how many you got now? I said, I don't know how many I got. So anyway, these little phrases of wisdom that these guys termed Kevinism. So I began sitting and writing, and I'm like, you know, this is serious. And the guys were asking me for a list of them, because I'm sure I told one and another one a different one. So not everybody heard everything. So anyway, so I'm sitting down, I'm really sitting down trying to make a hardcore list. And then probably within the first 3 months, I think I wrote a good 22, 24 of them. And then over the past 11 years now, I think I am up to 36 or 37 of them. And the next little video I'm going to be doing is the very first one. And I actually published this to show you how old this one is, how long I've been living by this. My very first comic book I published in 2005, I believe it was, 2004, 2005, I can't remember let's just say 2005. Inside the page where you go, you know, who wrote it, who drew it, and all that, page 2, somewhere in the middle there, I started putting these little phrases, little uplifting, you know, phrases to, you know, pump people. And I got the idea because of being at doctor's offices and stuff. You see the big paintings and it have this little slogan, go above and beyond, that kind of crazy stuff. And I was kind of doing, that was my version of it. And the first one I remember even really pushing out there was called Shoot for the Stars. The worst thing that can happen to you is you'll land on the moon. And I'll go more in depth with that on the next video. But I remember pushing that back 2004, 2005. Because that was something that I always told myself to help me, it just reminded me, I got to dream big. I got to dream outside of the box. And that was just always help pushing me and driving me when things get tough. Because when you're an artist or some kind of creator, boy, there's some hard times. Boy, you run into a lot of negative people, a lot of downplayers. And these phrases, and there's been many times in my life I don't pick the notebook up or pick up now I got them all on my phone. So I try every day to open it up and start, because I'll go through there and start reading them, and boom, that one will be like, this is where I'm at right now. Oh man, it really takes that like burden off of your shoulders and helps you get up and tackle the rest of the day. And that's what they're meant to do, these Kevinisms. And everybody said you need to share them with people. And over the last 10 or 12 years, the only thing I've ever done, I printed them out, and if I find someone I thought, I think they might get this. So I'm not being like stuffing this down people's throats, if you know what I mean. I would hand it out to them, and people, crazy enough, I get a lot of great feedback with this. So, and once again, the same guy, Matthew Broderick, probably about 6 months ago, and he reminded me about a month ago, he said, Kevin, do a playlist on your YouTube channel and just have every one of them, do a video for every one of them, put them in there, and he said at least it won't be forgotten. And these people will hear your version of these out of your mouth and see your enthusiasm, your passion, and why you came up with this. Why do you feel like this phrase was important? And I was like, and this is what my channel is about nowadays. It's not about trying to get work. It's not about trying to be famous. It's not about, trying to get sponsors. If any of that happens, I ain't gonna say no to it. But the biggest thing I'm trying to do with this channel is preserve who I am. Because we're all going to die. I'm going to be gone. I'm not going to be able to say anything anymore. I'm not going to be able to create anything anymore one day. And I don't know. It could be tomorrow. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. And it's just, what better have to leave something for my friends or even strangers or stuff for my wife or my children or my grandchildren to be able to sit back and right now I think I got 200 plus videos up. There's a lot of great material there, and I would like to leave back something for them. They can hear the way I felt about something, and I did a lot of toy videos, which was great, and I'll probably do some more, but there's a lot bigger, more important things in life, more creative things than just that. And I'm more of a deep person than just that aspect, of me of just being an athlete and a wrestler or taekwondo. I mean, there's a whole lot that I have that I've gone through in these stories that I want to preserve and share for these people. And you might be watching this and like, well, this sounds stupid. I don't care. And that's fine. But there might be somebody out there that watches one of these videos like, man, I needed to hear that right now. And that's who it's for. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what's important. If something I can say, I've been here, I've done that, I went through hell and I come out of it, and it helped someone, then it's worth me sitting here in front of the camera and spilling it out. That's how I feel. Whether someone likes it or not, really don't care. Because one of the philosophies I have in life, if you're doing anything worthwhile, you're pissing somebody off really bad. You're making them jealous. You're making them mad. They're going to hate you. They're going to troll you. They'll get over it. They'll just get over it. You can't live your life over these little crusty, wimpy little trolls. You can't be afraid to share yourself and I'm not saying I'm Mr. Know-It-All or Mr. Wise. No, God. If I've learned anything in life is, I learned really slow. I learned the hard way. I had to live through some hell and fight my way out to learn something. And that's not a way to learn. If I had it, I didn't get mentors in my life until I got into my 30s. Boy. And I lost my dad just before I turned 21. So 10 to 15 years there, some hard and shaky times. I didn't really have people that I can count on who could hear me and guide me. And man, instead of slowly, what mentors do is really help you stay on a steady pace. They keep you from taking them pitfalls and have to climb, take all that time to climb out. They keep you just going on. You get to skip some of that hardships. And unfortunately, from those 15 years there, before I started getting mentors, started coming into my life. And boy, when they started coming in my life, boy, bam, 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 I started getting them. I have been so blessed with and I'm going to do some videos on, I'm going to make a whole playlist on just mentorship so I can talk about all these guys and everything that they've done for me. Because the guy I am today come from knowing these guys. Bottom line. And every one of them was different. They offered something different in my life. And there would not be Kevinisms if it wasn't for these guys. Because a lot of these Kevinisms are things that I learned through these guys. And that's what I try to give back to other people. I have an art student, and it's, and that relationship, it went from a student to she's a family member, right? That's how I look at her. She's family, and that's, unfortunately, this day and time, people don't look at it like that. And so I hope that's a quick introduction here to what a Kevinism is. It's just a phrase, things that, and a lot of these phrases, like I said, have been here for thousands of years. And there's a reason why they've been around that long, because they're true and they're real. And they will better your life if you heed their warning or listen to their direction. So, and I hope you enjoy this. And if it's and please comment, subscribe, and give me feedback on what. Hey, yeah, I know what you mean. I had this happen to me, and stuff like that. Share it, and that's where I just hope it helps people. That's what I hope. I hope it inspires people to, get off their tail and whatever challenge they got ahead of them. Face it like a tiger. Never give up. That's what we all need to. Every day you wake up, you need to have that fight in you. You say, you know what? The day's the day. The day the universe is not going to keep me down. The day I go forward. And I hope that's what everyone gets out of this. Because every day I'm just clawing and hunting and fighting for reasons to keep moving and keep growing. God, I love learning. And God, I just love learning new things. And it's just, man, it's a tough world we live in. And boy, everybody needs all the help they can get. And I hope this little nuggets that I have here help someone. So, Artist Kevin Sexton here. Hope you enjoy Kevinisms. And like I said, there's about 36, 37 more to come. So, it might even grow by the time we get to that point. So, I'm going to try to get them locked down and get them in there for you. Hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it helps you guys out.